In this video, we will learn how to use sprites with Unity Visual Scripting. Before jumping into scripting, let's quickly overview using Unity sprites. A sprite is a 2D game object connected to a texture, either a JPEG or a PNG file. When we set our project in 2D mode, any JPEG or PNG texture we import will automatically be set as a sprite. If our project is in 3D mode, we can set the texture as sprite by changing the texture type in the inspector. We can also edit some of the texture's properties. We can set how to extract the sprite from the texture at the sprite mode. The single mode uses the texture as is, and the multiple mode is for splitting the texture into 2 sprites or more. When we are in multiple mode, we can open the Sprite Editor, separate the texture into multiple sprites, and redefine their outline shapes. We can either do that manually by clicking on the surface and dragging to create a rectangle selection, or automatically by selecting one of the different slicing options in the slicing menu. When selecting one of the created outlines, we can change its sprite's name, position, size, and pivot. Ensure the 2D Sprite package is installed to use the Sprite Editor. Back to the inspector, using the pixel per unit option, we can determine how many pixels fit inside a single grid unit. A higher number means the rendered sprite will be smaller in dimension, but higher quality. We add a sprite into a scene by adding an empty game object and attaching a sprite renderer component. We can assign the sprite we want to render with this component. Another more straightforward approach for adding a sprite is simply dragging it to the scene. See how Unity set up a game object with the sprite renderer component. Before we move on, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Finally, inside the script graph, we can access and change the different properties of a sprite renderer component. We use the getSprite and setSprite nodes to retrieve or swap the rendered sprite. We can also retrieve and change the sprite's color by using the getColor and setColor nodes, and flip the sprite horizontally or vertically with the setFlipX and setFlipY nodes. At the additional settings of a sprite renderer, we can change a sprite rendering order priority by using the sorting layer settings. We can use sorting layers to separate the game's environment into background, midground, and foreground. Back in the script graph, we modify the rendering order inside the layer with the get and set sprite sorting order nodes. Alternatively, we can also use the get and set sorting layer name to change the sorting layer itself. And that's it. Thanks for following along. Check out the YouTube playlist or our website for the free and complete visual scripting course.